Yeah, we're gonna do a quick Final Fantasy game ranking tier list as we go through here. Welcome back, one and all. It's time for Shining Force CD Book 1, Part 24. This is a shocker. I'm doing a recording before I've edited the video. That's not a usual thing. That's why the number system's all weird in my head. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We don't have much of a battle left here to finish up. We got a golem. We got these brass gunners and this. What are you, the executioner? That's not what the executioner sprite is supposed to look like. And we got this, and we don't have much to finish up here. We're just going to run through this map. We're going to storm into Woldo's castle, and that's probably going to be the end of the recording. Nice little short one for you guys here today. In my sleep-deprived state, I was up all night working, doing my job, slept 4 hours, and in my sleep-deprived state, and knowing that there's not really going to be much content worthwhile in this. Can I heal anyone? Can we get Mayfair any level of it? There we go. We can heal this guy whose name I forget because he's new. Cthulhu Beard Randolph. Because I'm sleep deprived and I know there's not going to be much to talk about in this battle, I theorized, hey, what are things we can talk about? And I almost started to go off on a rant on Chrono Trigger and how Chrono Cross is not that great of a sequel. It's a really good game. It's a really bad sequel. We're not doing that rant. Stop. What I decided to do to create some side content for you as we push through this battle, and I'm about to regret it because once I do it, we got to commit to it and I got to edit it while we're doing the battle. We're going to do a really quick and dirty, and mostly based on my emotions, Final Fantasy games 1 through 10. The only games I care about, 1 through 10, which is kind of an insult to 11 because I think 11 is fine. We are going to try not to kill with people who are level 11. We're going to try to keep any level 11s out of the battle. Yeah, we're going to do a quick Final Fantasy game ranking tier list as we go through here. Like I said, we're going to go only from 1 to 10. I just finished that Fantasy Star 4 Hunter's Guild tier list mission thing, so I can promote my side content. And I will probably never get to a point where I will be doing this, a real video ranking Final Fantasy games. But if I do, trust me, there'll be a lot more thought put into this. So, let's go. Number 1, real easy. So we start, Final Fantasy I. On the SNES, I'm not ranking the remakes. I think my curmudgeon-y old man attitude happened a long time ago, because I'm not a large fan of the Final Fantasy I remakes, aside from maybe the Wonder Swan one. I think the PlayStation one also is okay. Basically, when they replaced the magic system, which I think is based on D&D. I don't know D&D that well, but I think it's based on D&D, where you have a set amount of times you can cast a spell instead of MP. I like the original set amount of times you can cast a spell more. Anyway, Final Fantasy I. See, I got some bias here because I started the Final Fantasy series off on Final Fantasy I. I think it's not the best game in the series, obviously, because the series has evolved so much, but it might have the most replayability, in that you get to pick your force, make your decisions, and because there's not a whole lot of story and the game isn't super long, you can, beat it in, let's guess, 10 hours. I got a bunch of games to get through and not much battle to get through it, so I would put Final Fantasy I at a very good, great tier. It's not legendary, because as much as I love it, I can see where things can be improved, but it's certainly great. It's to me, it's one of the better ones. Final Fantasy II. I mean, I think we all know kind of the good parts and the bad parts of Final Fantasy II. Like, congratulations, you were innovative. There's a story system. that's come so far compared to Final Fantasy 1. It's just the level up system is... The leveling system is bad. It's bad, it's exploitable. It kind of reminds me of an FF8 that way. I also, you know, show my age here, or show my, let's put their cards on the table. I haven't played 2 as much. I think 2 is fine. It might, a lot of people might consider 2 to be the worst in the series, and you know, if you're gonna rank the first 10, I would certainly put it in fine. I'd certainly put it in the bottom. 3 is, well, let's not get Apis in there to get the experience. 3 introduces a job system. 3 suffers a lot from the kind of the same thing 2 does in a way, in that it introduces a story, but the hardware isn't really there to show off the story that's going on in it. But it does introduce the job system. It doesn't do the best job introducing a job system. Obviously that gets refined more in later games, but again, just like Final Fantasy II, I appreciate its ambition, and I think it holds it together a bit more. Not a whole lot more, but a bit more than 2. Knowing what's coming later in the series, I think I have to put 3 as fine as well, but it's above 2. All right, and now we come to 4, and now we come to our first question of consequence as we push through here, because as a game, 4 is undoubtedly better than 1. It has a story, it has a logical and continuous story. It has unique characters. Is it the first game in the series? I think it's the first game in the series that has unique characters and abilities, but not tied to a class. Like, for example, Rosa is a white mage, but doesn't have the job as a white mage. She just kind of has that archetypical role. The story with Kain is excellent. It's a big improvement. This is my list, and bias must exist. Like, undoubtedly, from a technical standpoint, 4 is better than 1. But to me, personally, 1 is better than 4. We're still going to put 4 in great, but personally, on my list, 1 is greater than 4. And then we come to number 5, the one that wasn't released in the West. The job system is absolutely phenomenal in 5, like top freaking tier. Best the job system, best customizability in the series. It never really improved. Some of the changes they made in the later games let the game get broken too much, whereas 5, I feel like there's a level of innovation and playing around you can do in 5 that you don't get in the other games. Or the story is okay. It's not... 5 doesn't have the best story of the Shining Force games, of the Final Fantasy games. It's weaker than 4, it's weaker than 6, it's weaker than 7. It's its weaker point. It's a little more lighthearted. It's a little more childish and fun. I do enjoy that the job system is tied into the crystals. I think 5 ends up in Great 2. They have a really damn good run of games here. I think 5 ends up in Great 2, but it is definitely behind 1 and 4. Alright, let's keep going. 6, I'm going to tell you a story about 6. For years, I know we're setting Domingo up to die here, I don't care. For years, I would tell people 6 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I wanted to be that Final Fantasy elitist who always says, no, you don't know any better. This PlayStation game, this original 6 one, it's the best. And 6 is really good. The story, the opera scene, the story's phenomenal. The fact that the world ends, and maybe I'll do a video on that someday, is so cool, and playing and going and getting all your characters and the backstory of all your characters. Like, the story is excellent. The problem with 6, I don't know if I actually enjoy playing it. Like, I don't know what it is. The battle system doesn't grab me and hold me. The Esper system to learn spells and level up your characters and the min-maxing element of it, I don't know what it is. It doesn't grab me. It's a perfect game. The story's phenomenal. The characters are phenomenal. The music is just... that's peak Final Fantasy music. The Magic Tech Factory theme lives in my head forever. But this is my personal list right here. And I can't put 6 into Legendary, and I feel terrible for that. I am going to put it at the top of my list. I sit here and I tell you all these reasons why I don't like it, but it's still, there's so many good reasons. It's going at top of great. It doesn't get there, man. And here we go. Number 7. I'm going to show my my Final Fantasy noobness thing. I tried so long to be an elitist. I think 7 is better than 6. For the sole reason that 7 is funner to play. It doesn't have a better story. I mean, graphics, it's tough to say. Like, early era PlayStation graphics versus late generation SNES graphics. I could take an argument. I could see an argument where one could literally say Final Fantasy VI looks better than 7, and I would take that argument. I'm a man who appreciates pixel art, but the FMVs hitting the zeitgeist at the right moment. I made my best friend in middle school based on Final Fantasy VII because I saw he had a strategy guide, and I was like, I'm gonna be your friend so I can play this game because I didn't have a PlayStation. There's moments that live there, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm a poser by putting 7 above 6, but 7 goes in the Legendary. It does. That might be our least controversial thing, but here we go. 8. 8 has a lot of good going for it. The graphics are really cool. The world where it takes place is really cool. Esper, the super mega city, the story's okay. It's broken. It's like FF2. It's broken. It's fundamentally broken. The battle system is fundamentally broken. It encourages you never to take encounters. It makes the battles not fun, man. And sometimes it's just like going from point A to point B with no challenge. 8 also feels like it tries really hard to be 7. The music is phenomenal in 8. Might be better than 7. So one thing it is going for it. But yeah, I think we'll put 8 in good, because I don't have any games in good, even though I don't have a list in front of me. We're going to put it in good. Now we're going to have to stop our talk, because I think Claude is about to kill this Executioner. And I'm going to vaguely assign an MVP on this battle, based on barely paying attention to it. And I think, you know what? Let's throw our old boy a bone. I think Domingo did pretty good in the previous part of this battle. So then we come to 9. And I know there's a lot of people in the series who love 9 and consider 9 like the peak retelling of the older school Final Fantasies, the 4s, the 3s, the 2s, the 1. We'll take a break. Your days of conquest are over. From now on, Woldo is protected by the great spirit of Ayam. Wrong. Our days of conquest are almost over. Let's go inside and end Woldo's reign. Alright, we're gonna take our time at camp here. And I'm just gonna, make this video longer. So, I really like the way you learn magic in 9. I love how you learn it from items. I love that the traditional leveling system is back. It it kind of has the 6 problem, where I don't know what it is, I just don't have as much fun playing it. Maybe it's the super long before combat entry scene where you gotta wait like 30 seconds before you can get to your fight. And the fights are a little slow, but that's not too bad. And I'm not a big fan of the trance system, but it's okay. There's a lot going well in 9. It's kind of like 6, it just doesn't hit me the way that some other games hit me. So yeah, I'm putting 9 in my personal. It's great. It's behind 6. It's still good. It's sometimes the good ones, when they're not phenomenal for you, they just stick out a little more. Well, that brings us to 10, the last one we're ranking, and it should be the last one we're ranking because I'm done playing the game. I think 10 is awesome. It's a struggle for me not to sit here and put it above 7. I think the story of 10 is good. I know a lot of people give the voice acting crap, but it's really good for the time. Graphically, it holds up today. The Aeon system, the Aeon system is good. It just, when I make lists, I'm more critical. I like all the characters, every one of them, even Kamari. I like every character in 10. The sphere grid is a little, it makes you want to think that you have the ability to customize your characters, and you do to a point, but it's not that great. And I feel like a lot of it is just busy work. I know a lot of people hate Blitzball. Blitzball is my jam. I would play a standalone Final Fantasy Blitzball game. As much as I love the card game in 8, I should point that out, the card game in 8 is phenomenal. It's the best card game they've done in the ones that I've played. I love Blitzball. I wish Blitzball scaled better, because you reach a point at the end of the game where if you played enough Blitzball and you have the right players on your team, you're way too freaking good and you run over people. And I know we talked about the graphics. I guess the music is kind of lacking in 10 too. Like, it's 10 also, not X2. Just because I don't remember a lot of it. I mean, some people will talk about 2 Xanarkin as this really cool song, but 2 Xanarkin is kind of new metal butt rock, if you want to ask me. You know, I can talk down my Final Fantasy VII elitists. I can't talk down my metal elitists. I'm gonna put 10 below 7, and I'm conflicted with that. I go back and forth on my rankings of 7, 10, 6, and 9. Those are the cream of the crop right there. I go back and forth on my rankings on them just because any given day, that can change. But I think the fundamental difference is I find 10 fun to play, and I find 7 fun to play. I think it's the battle systems and the speed at which the battles go. And the fact that, yeah, I just find them funner than 9 and 6, which makes me a little sad, and it hurts my heart in a bit. So I hope you enjoyed our Shining Force Final Fantasy 1 tier list discussion. This was just a short battle. We are going to storm Woldol's castle in the next playthrough, and we'll see you guys next time. Hey, it's me, the guy who played the game. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. I don't like to beg for likes and subscribes, but they do make me feel nicer. So, make me feel nice. Or don't. There. Contractual YouTube obligations fulfilled.